Okay, we're gonna solve three variable linear systems. The main process for solving this type of systems is first you eliminate the third variable, then you create a subsystem to find the first two variables. In this case it will be x and y, and once you find those variables you use them to find the third variable that you eliminated at the beginning. So our first step in this case will be basically eliminating z. Okay, so I have an example in here of a system that we're gonna have to solve. The first thing we need to do is we need to create two subsystems. Those two subsystems, they need to basically be created with the original equation. So I'm gonna copy the first equation of the exercise and I'm gonna paste it in there. And I'm gonna copy the second equation of the exercise too. Okay. Now this same idea I'm gonna do it twice. I'm gonna create two subsystems. Okay, only that each subsystem is gonna have different equations. Okay, I could repeat one of them, which is the first one, but the second equation is going to be different. Okay, like these two systems, they need to be different. Okay, with different equations. I'm going to try to eliminate z, and to eliminate z, we're going to use the same process that we usually need for eliminating the second variable. So I'm going to flip these two numbers and multiply with them. Okay, so I'm gonna put in one side number 2 and in the other side number 3, which are the two numbers that I have here, the 3 and the 2. Okay, and I'm gonna multiply with those two numbers. That's my goal in here. Okay, so once I multiply with those two numbers, I will get 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 5, 10, minus 3 times 2, minus 6, and 18 times 2, that will give me 36, I assume. Yeah. Then I multiply the other numbers. 3 times 3, that will give me 9. Minus 2 times 3, that will give me minus 6. 2 times 3, that will give me 6. And negative 2 times 3, that will give me negative 6. Okay. Okay, what am I going to do next? What I'm going to do is I'm gonna add and subtract each one of the letters and numbers in column, like 4x plus 9x. That will give me 13x. Okay. 10y minus 6y, that will give me 4y. Minus 6z plus 6z, that's gonna give me 0. So I'm not gonna put the z because it disappears. Remember, that's the first step. I'm trying to eliminate z. Okay, and finally 36 minus 6, that will give me 30. Okay, that will be my first equation without z. I'm gonna repeat the same process in the other system. Okay, in the other system I'm gonna have to do the same thing. I'm gonna flip these two numbers in order to eliminate z, okay, and I'm gonna multiply with them. Okay, so I don't need this. I'm gonna multiply 1 times each one of them is gonna give me the same number, so I don't need to multiply with 1 because it's still the same. Then 3 times x, that will give me 3x. 3 times 3, that will give me 9. 3 times z is gonna give me 3z, and 3 times minus 4, that's gonna give me negative 12. Once I have this, I'm going to repeat the same process of adding and subtracting each one of the letters and numbers in column. So 2x plus 3x is going to give me 5x. 5y minus 9y is going to give me negative 4y. Minus 3z plus 3z is going to give me 0. So I'm not going to put the z because it got eliminated. And 18 minus 12, that will give me 6. Okay, so I eliminated the z in this other subsystem too. So I have two equations without z. I'm gonna combine those two equations into a single equation in here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create another system, and in this case the equations I'm gonna use are the ones that I just found. So I'm gonna copy them here, and if you notice, I don't need to flip the 4 and the 4 in here to multiply with it, because I can immediately eliminate the letter y. This doesn't happen all the time. In this case I got lucky because I got the same number. 4 minus 4 is going to give me 0. So I can eliminate y to find x. Remember, now I am in the next step, that is find x and y. And to find x I need to eliminate y. So I can eliminate it in here immediately. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So 13x plus 5x, that will give me 18x. 4 minus 4 is 0, so I'm not going to copy the y. And 30 plus 6 is going to give me 36. Okay. Now that I have this answer, I can pass the 18 to the other side. It's going to divide. And 36 divided by 18, that's going to give me 2. Okay, so I already found x. Okay, cool. Now, how am I going to find y? Okay, I'm going to find y by substituting dx in the first equation of this system. So I'm going to copy the first equation of the system, and instead of dx I'm going to put the number I just found. Okay, so 13 times 2, that's going to give me 26. That 26 I can pass it to the other side, okay, because it's a positive 26. On the other side will be a negative 26. Okay, now let's see if I can arrange this in another way. Could suit better organization. Okay. I could put this in here, and then I could put this here. Yeah, that would be better. Okay, to find x on one side and y on the other one. So 30 minus 26, that will give me 4. And I can pass the 4 of the y that is multiplying to the other side to divide. 4 divided by 4, that should give me 1. Okay, so I already found y, and I also found x. Okay, so those are kind of like my important answers in here. Okay, so I already did step 2. I found x and y. My final step will be finding the z, the last letter that is missing. How am I going to do that? I'm going to go to the original exercise, the first thing that you see in here, the original exercise. I'm going to copy the first equation. You can copy any equation, but I'm going to choose the first one. Okay, I'm going to paste it, and instead of the x and instead of the y, you're going to put the x and the y that you found. So instead of x, I'm going to put inside parentheses number 2. And instead of the y, I'm going to put inside parentheses number 1. Okay. So I can multiply 2 times 2, that's going to give me 4. Yes. And I could multiply 5 times 1, that's going to give me 5. And 4 plus 5, That's going to give me 9. Yes, I could add the 4 and the 5, or I could pass them on to the other side as a -4 and a -5. Doesn't matter. Okay. Once I subtract these things, I'm going to get 9 in this side. I will have gotten 9 in here positive. If I pass it to the other side, it will be 18 minus 9. I get the same answer. Okay. Now, what am I going to do with this 9? I'm going to pass -3, that is multiplying the z. I'm going to pass it to divide. So I'm going to divide 9 with -3. 9 divided by -3 is -3. Okay, so I kind of like got an answer already. Okay, I found C. Okay, now that I know the x, the y, and the z, I just need to write the answer for this thing. Okay, solutions for systems are usually written either in order pairs, or in this case, you can write them as a triple. Okay, we call this thing a triple because we're basically using 3 numbers. So the x goes first, then the y, and then the z in that alphabetical order. So x will be 2, I put a comma, and then the y will be 1, then I put a comma, and then I put -3. And that will be the solution for our exercise. Okay. Solution will be 2, 1, -3. That's how you solve linear systems with 3 variables.